our webinar today about closing tickets and opening opportunities with Tribe CRM. We are very happy to have you here. Today I'm with my colleague Sasha, which is going to introduce herself in a bit. If you have attended previous webinar about Tribe, maybe you know me, but for the sake of the new ones here, my name is Daniel. I am account executive here in Efficy, selling Tribe and other products in Denmark, but obviously I have colleagues around the Nordics, so no matter which country you are, somebody like me can assist you. And today with us, we have a very special guest. Her name is Sasha, and I would just like you, Sasha, to say a few words about yourself and welcome, first of all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, my name is Sasha. I'm the head of customer care here in the Nordics. And I'm excited to be here today to share some insights on, on my experiences leading customer service teams and having also been a customer service agent myself in the past as well. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm also really excited to have you here, and I'm sure we're going to get extremely good insights from you. I think we should just jump into it and hear a little bit about our agenda for today. Right now we are doing the intro, so once that is done, then we are going to jump straight into your experience, Sasha, and what does customer care need, both from an agent perspective, but also from a manager perspective. Then I will chime in with a few insights about what do sales need from customer care, the sales team meaning here. And essentially, because this webinar today is not only about customer care, but it's also the synergy between customer care with the other departments, including sales, and how we can all work together and avoid silos. Then we can talk about how we can keep both happy, what it's needed from a system and from a flow, from a process to keep both departments happy and obviously efficient. And finally, we're going to look into how this actually looks in the system and have a mini demo for everybody to see. Before we jump into all of that, we have a very, very quick question for you guys. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the synergy between departments. So how much extra growth do you think businesses see when sales and customer success teams, and here I also mean customer care, are well aligned? My colleague is going to launch the poll, so please vote and give your guess, and then I will review after that how much that is. So let's see. Sasha, what do you think while we are waiting for the results?
I'm going to guess 1.5 times.
Yeah. Well, we have some people who say that it's 2.4. You have your vote on 1.5. I might say, well, I mean, I know the answer, but yeah, but if I didn't know the answer, I'll probably go for 1.5 as well. So here I will review it, and the answer is actually right. It's 2.4. So essentially, the ones of you that voted for 2.4, that is correct. And I would say, I don't know, Sasha, what do you think? But it's actually mind blowing because yeah, it will be such a growth if we have all the departments aligned, but shouldn't the alignment of departments come by default? Why is that even a question? I find this very weird in 21st century. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, it should be a basic in any team that they are aligned. But I guess, you know, this is something that that we need to actually have in our systems, and let's see how we can maybe see that in the system we're going to discuss today.
Exactly. That's why we are here after all. Now, before we jump to your part, technical question, excuse me, the audience, but sometimes it happens. Is my screen visible, Sasha?
Yes.
Yes, amazing. Okay. Well, now that I have done the deck checks, I think it's time for me to shut up and to give the word forward to you because we are having you here to tell us about the priorities of customer care and what is essential for you guys to be performing your job and reaching your KPIs. Take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think there's many different things, but I would say to break it down into three, I've provided these. The first one is it's really important to be able to monitor the team and agents' performance on managing tickets. I think that's super crucial. From a manager's perspective, it is important because then I can monitor and make sure that the standards are aligned and in line with our KPIs and SLAs. But it also allows me to identify areas that certain individuals might be underperforming and the gaps for learning that I need to bridge. But on top of that, I think it's also really important because it can drive accountability. I've noticed in my own personal experience as a customer service agent that having a clear monitoring and overview of how you're performing on your tickets actually can drive your performance. It did for me especially, because you kind of know you're being held accountable and you're being tracked, and it can kind of also be exciting because you can get a bit competitive with it on a personal level. Yeah, so it keeps people engaged as well, I would say. And then on top of that, yeah, it just overall helps with managing the workload balance and making sure that everyone is contributing the same amount, and overall it improves the customer satisfaction, right? That we can stay on top of those SLAs and KPIs. A second point is the comprehensive cross-team collaboration on tickets. So, I mean, I think it's really important that you have a simple overview of your ticket queues for escalating these to other teams or other individuals. And it needs to be very clearly visible, the summary and the information in that ticket, and also the attributes that are important for you as an organization, that they're clearly visible, and also that they're easily accessible and visible in different parts of the system that you're using, so that yeah, they're across different activities that you're performing in that system, you can actually find that information that you need to. And I think that's really important because it's, yeah, having this ease of cross-team collaboration when you're trying to escalate tickets or share information on tickets will reduce the resolution time, and it will also make sure that there's no wasted time in extra handoffs or escalations. And of course, there's good knowledge sharing there if you have a good system for that. And then on top of that, I would say that another priority is that we are tracking tickets and the prioritization. So I think ease of use is really important for an individual in a support team, and the organization of those tickets is also really important to allow them to prioritize. Also me as a manager to be able to keep track of what's going on the individual and team level, especially because there's so many things coming in, right? So it needs to be really clear what stage, the priority, who's assigned. Just having a really clear ticket form is really important. Yeah, so that we can easily find ways to prioritize our queues. And yeah, I think that's important also to be able to hit our SLAs, and yeah, ensure that we have good reporting of everything that that's going on in the team. So those are the main three I would highlight.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I think it's always very interesting to hear from customer care teams just because they're everywhere around us, but very often we just take them as given, and it's interesting to understand that, you know, these are people with KPIs, these are people who actually work really, really hard. And I think that's one of the good things about this webinar today, that apart from seeing what is possible with Tribe CRM regarding support and ticketing and so on, we also show how important this function of customer care is. What I wanted to make a note of, because you are talking really a lot about monitoring and you monitoring your agents, but also them monitoring themselves. And I think it's, well, as somebody coming from sales, I think people can also get pretty competitive in a good way, especially if some goals and KPIs are involved. How many tickets somebody is performing, or somebody's closing per day, or what the SLA is per person. I think if I was sitting as a customer care agent, I would be interested to also see my colleagues' times and see how am I doing, right? I don't know. Have you had similar experience when you were agent as well?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there is a fine line there with getting competitive in a customer service team, because you are meant to be also working together as a team. It's a bit different, I would say, to sales that
Absolutely.
are more individual contributors. But I think the way that I like to look at it is to have the overview on a team level. How are we all performing on a team level? And then the individuals can know for themselves. I think that's important for them so that they can sort
Mhm.
of compete with their own performance. But I prefer to have like the overview on a team level. And I think that's really motivating to know, okay, us as a team, we're doing really well this week compared to last week, or this month compared to the month last year. And I think that is motivating for the team. And it can, yeah, it can drive good
Yeah.
performance.
I mean, as they say, the only competition is you from yesterday, right? So that's quite on point. Well, now I kind of sort of started twisting the conversation towards sales, and we in sales very often also sort of collaborate with the customer care team, and so the customer care, apart from ensuring that the customers are happy, that their needs are attended, their questions are answered, etc. They're also giving us a lot of let's say possibilities or potential opportunities for upsells, because when somebody talks to customer care, they very often reveal a pain or something that they would like to work on, and so this could be very often resolved with a training or with an extra function and so on. And this is extremely important to drive business on existing customers in terms of upsells. And in order for us to do that, there is only two things that the customer care team and agents should do to support sales in the best way and support the growth of the organization. The first one is essentially to inform us in a timely manner of potential opportunities. And the second one is to provide all the necessary details. And again, this might seem as something that everybody should be doing by default, but if you don't have the right system in place, if you don't have a system in place where both the teams together with other teams have access to and can collaborate with each other in real time, it can become a very huge challenge, because I've seen situations also in my previous job where everything was just posted in some Teams chat or personally on Teams or in some sort of email. And this kind of information in that channel or in those channels is very easily lost. So in an ideal scenario, I would say we need a system. If we take both sales and customer care and other departments that are attending customer matters, um, we want or need something that supports both functions. It could be also more departments, but whichever department is there, their function needs to be supported. Um, Something that needs or has multiple automation capabilities, so that we can get rid of all the tedious tasks that could be done fully automatically, and we can essentially dedicate our time to talking with the customers on things that matters. A system that could be configured and tailored very easily. This is a must. A system that is visual, a system that makes it easy to create different relations, from ticket to customer to sales opportunity, etc. The system that connects with other systems, and also obviously that it should be easy to use. It shouldn't be a hassle logging in and using this in your day, because if you hate your CRM, you probably also hate your job, I would say, because CRM is such a big part of your job, right? Um, Sasha, I'm curious if you could choose, let's say, two of those. that should be absolute priority when choosing a CRM system, if you should do this today, for example, which two would you say you'd go for?
As a manager, I would definitely probably choose automation capabilities, and I would probably say can be configured and tailored easily. I think those two are really important for me as a manager. Also being visual, I want all of them.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can totally understand that. And yeah, I mean, some of them are also kind of like connected to each other, right?
Yeah.
What if we ask one of your agents, would they choose the same things or would it be something else, do you think?
No, I think that might be a bit different. I think they would probably choose ease of use, and that's really important. And then being visual, I think, is also really important. Yeah, I would say that, and also easy to create relations. That's obviously quite critical in a support role, to have the interconnectivity. Yeah.
Yeah, because it also ties together with this thing that I was talking about regarding maybe sending opportunities to sales or anything else. Yeah, it's important to be able to do this easily. Yeah, right. Well, I think it's time to take a look, dive in the practical part, show a little bit of the support module in Tribe. And then, yeah, then Sasha, after that, you can, yeah, give some comments maybe. But now, what you need to know about the support module in Tribe is that you can, as any other module in Tribe, configure it in a way that works for you. So in my case here on my first or front page of the module, I have a little bit cleaner look, you would say. I don't have way too many diagrams, way too many graphs, just because I have taken it from the side of a individual contributor. So I basically have my support tickets, the ones that have been assigned to me. I have an overview of all the open support tickets by stage. And then I also see support tickets that are being given to me, and then the ones that are being worked on by my colleagues. And then I also have something more visual here. But if you are like Sasha and you're sitting and you're thinking, I need more here, I need diagrams, I need to be able to see SLAs, I need to be able to compare, very easily, you could just add different widgets to this page and make it your own. So I could just go here and I could just find the, the support section within the widgets, and then I can find a widget that I have done prepared previously in advance and just add it to my dashboard in a matter of seconds. So now I actually have a more visual representation of how the tickets are divided, but I also can filter that per phase. So I can see how many tickets are divided per phase new, how many tickets are divided by phase assigned, etc., etc. And this is just a small part of the different stats that you will be able to do in Tribe. I believe, Sasha, if you, yeah, once you get your hands on this, you can go crazy with
Yes.
with
Yes.
all the
I love my
possibilities.
data. So this is amazing that I can also tailor it to exactly what I want to see, for the team level and also on the individual level. And then I can also create diagrams for the individuals as well that they can then just insert themselves onto their dashboard. That's fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, it's a way, the way that this system was built was that it can satisfy both the needs of the manager and also of the individual contributors. Now, yes, now we saw sort of like the overview, but how does a ticket look in Tribe? I would just take as an example one of the tickets that have been assigned to me and then open it. And then I can already see here the different stages in which this ticket will be part of. Again, here it's very basic. We just have new, assigned, and complete. But obviously, if you have more stages in your ticketing process, you can tailor the system in that way. Now we've got three, maybe four ways to add tickets to Tribe. The first one would be, of course, menu, where we create the ticket menu in Tribe. That would be, for example, if somebody is calling us. Then we've got the possibility to connect our support inbox or customer care inbox to Tribe, so that when somebody sends an email to this email automatically gets created as a ticket in Tribe without you lifting your finger, essentially. And the third one also, we do support the function of having a portal, customer portal for ticketing in Tribe. So you can also do that and have your customers create their tickets in the portal, which then come into Tribe. And then, of course, if that's not enough, we have the open API where you could potentially integrate it with different systems or forms where you can feed the data for other tickets as well. Once the ticket is created, I will be able to see all the basic information here. Normally, what the person has written in their email or form would be shown here under problem. In this case, they are complaining that the screen would not be turning on, whatever they do, etc. And now, of course, we need to do something to support them. Now, the first thing normally would be, of course, to appoint the right person, to set the priority, all normal things about a ticket. And then from here on, I will just be working in this area where I could create notes, and I can also send emails, answers to the customer. If I wanted to create a note, something internal, then I could just start writing, and then I have the possibility to say, okay, if they are looking at this ticket from the support portal, should this note be visible or not? Because obviously a lot of notes should only be internal. You don't want your customers to see something that's not for them to see. And then if I want to communicate with the customer through an email, essentially, I can do that. I can reply with emails from here very easily, just by pressing this button. And when I press this button, I will be able to write the email. I'll be able to use templates if I wanted to for a quicker response, and then just send the reply. Normally, also, when we send an emails, we get this unique code reference, sorry for that, which is going to make sure that when we send or receive emails with this code reference, they will be attached exactly to this ticket, so that everything is unified there. Obviously, there is possibility for automating a lot of those things with our automation flows. So, for example, if we say that we want to have that when somebody gets assigned a ticket, they should receive an automatic email, that's possible. If we want to be like, okay, so we have an SLA time that is, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and if the ticket has been created and not resolved within this SLA time, maybe Sasha would like to get an email, just sort of like flagging this, and then to see what's happening. So a lot of possibilities for automation as well. And I know, Sasha, that you love that because we have talked before about this. So
Definitely.
yeah.
I think, I mean, is it also possible to automatically assign this? So, for example, if I have a ticket that I want to hand over to another team, escalating it, and I already know that if it's set to a specific phase, then it should go to a specific person. Can you automate that sort of thing? Is that possible with the relevant information attached?
Yes, exactly. You could do many things. I mean, you can send specific phases to a specific person or a specific team. Because, for example, if you have LA, L1 and L2, maybe you want to send tickets from a specific phase to only to L2 people. So you could definitely do that through automation. And the same goes, for example, for priority. So maybe if something is with high priority, you need to send it to a specific person. that could become automatic as well. It could also be divided by product, maybe. So if you're working on multiple products, you could create a phase for the respective product, or sorry, a field for the respective product. And if it's a product one, then it goes to a specific personal team. If it's a product two, then it goes to another personal team. So that's also possible. Um, yeah, but then how about all of this talk about communicating with other departments, etc. And because right now we have just looked at the tickets and that's looks amazing, I hope. But what about sales? What if this person now that needs help with their screen needs to be sold some sort of consultancy hours or a visit, etc. So now instead of me writing on Teams to a sales guy or whatever, I just go here and I can immediately create a sales opportunity for that person who is going to sell them. I can describe everything here, give it an expected order date, send it further to a sales representative, and even potentially all the informations that I have within the ticket will be also easy to find from this opportunity later on, because it will be linked to the ticket. So now me as a salesperson, I know, okay, this has been created as a potential sales opportunity, and I can see the company, I can see the contact person, and I can see the ticket that this has come from, and I can immediately go there and take a look at everything. So this can be done obviously across departments. It's not only about sales opportunities. It could be also linked to projects. It could be linked to activities, tasks, etc., etc. Yes, well, I could talk about Tribe and the support module for hours, but I think we covered the very basics. What would you say, Sasha?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's the basics are covered. I think it's also covered everything that I mentioned at the beginning of our chats, where I highlighted those three main points. I feel like you've definitely shown and view case that that's actually all covered in Tribes. So that's fantastic.
Indeed, and obviously there is also much more. So if you are interested, somebody from our audience, of course, just feel free to reach out, and then we can book you for a conversation with one of the specialists that can answer all of your questions. But we have a few more minutes, and I would like to ask another question really quickly for you guys before we close it off and give you also the opportunity to ask questions. But I want you to be very, very honest, the ones in the audience. How confident are you in the synergy between your pre and post sales teams? How good and how efficient are they working together? So I'll just take a look at um, the poll here and see what people are voting for. Somewhat non-confident at all. I think that that's also pretty normal, right? I personally haven't seen an organization that would say 100% and that the synergy is flawless. I don't know if Sasha, you have seen something like that, but I think there is always time for improvement.
Yeah, there is always. I'm someone who
Yeah.
never puts the 10 out of 10, so
Yeah, exactly. Me neither. So I think that was pretty self-explanatory, but it's good that people are self-aware. And of course, if somebody does put 10 out of 10 and thinks that everything is flawless, please reach out to us. We want to learn how to do that. And that would be amazing. But I think we can just close it off with a few questions. If you guys have any questions from the chat, please write them in the chat, and then Sasha is going to read them to me. But perhaps while we wait for the questions, I don't know if you, Sasha, have a question for me, perhaps?
Sorry, I'm just trying to open the chat. No, honestly, I mean, I think something that I'm curious about is if you for SLAs, right? I mean, for me as a manager, it's really important that I could sort of predefine that based on like the priority level of a ticket or the urgency. Is that something that's possible usually?
Yes. Indeed, yes, because in Tribe we can work with the KPIs. These are special graphs where you could, as long as you have a field or some sort of data on a specific thing, then you can measure it up against a specific KPI that you can give. So you can say, well, our SOA target is, I don't know, an hour or so, and then you can put this in the KPI sheet, and then it's going to compare it with the data from the tickets, and also create a beautiful graph for you or something like that that you can look at. Yeah.
Okay. One more question here. Is it expensive to get the support add-on module if you have many users in Tribe?
No, I think that's actually the best part, and that's a very, very good question to whoever asked it. Having a lot of users is actually perhaps the best deal whenever you're getting any add-on in Tribe, because the price per these add-ons, like the support add-on, for example, is not per user per month or per user in general, which is the case in many other CRM systems. In Tribe, you pay per add-on. That means that regardless if you are 3 users or 30, the add-on price will still be the same. So I think that's a really, really, really good deal.
Fantastic. I believe we can wrap it up. There are actually,
Yeah.
there's one more here. Does everyone have the rights to create their own personalized widgets that you mentioned earlier?
That's
So you
actually
can
up
each
to you. Yes, that's up to the administrator of Tribe, because in Tribe we work with different roles for the different users. So it's only you guys that can decide what kind of roles every user would get. And so if you want them to be able to create their own graphs and their own data and so on, you just give them the right to do so, and they will be able to do it. And of course, they can also be able to have their own dashboard that's different than your dashboard, Sasha, right? Because you are interested in 2 different things. Yeah. So yeah, it is possible. Yes. Well, I think we can wrap it up. Any other questions that you guys might have, contact us, reach out to us, and then we can have a conversation. Before we say goodbye, one last thing, there is another webinar upcoming. So if you're interested, just scan this QR code. This webinar here is also going to be on demand. It's recorded, so you can always just come back to the QR code in the bottom and then find all the webinars regarding Tribe. With that being said, I want to thank you, Sasha, so much for being here. I learned more about customer care. I hope you learned something new as well.
I definitely did. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And of course, thank you for the audience for being with us for the last half an hour. We hope that this was interesting, and we hope that we'll hear from you very, very soon. Have a great day.